Welcome everyone to Changing of the Hip Hop Guards. I am your host, Uncle E. That's my partner, the journalist Sincere. And today we have the pleasure of having two legends with us, Brother Jay from the X Clan and Sir Jinx. Thank you guys for joining us, man. It's
Thank
very well appreciated.
Blessing, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely.
Good
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So real quick, if you want, Sir Jinx, maybe we'll start with you. If you could just let people know a little bit about who you are, a little bit about your background for those who might not know, and then we'll move on to Brother Jay as well.
Well, I can say, I'm a DJ. I'm a hip hop head. Um, they might know some of my music from me dealing with the Ice Cube projects and the John Singleton and just being a person in the West Coast. That's how y'all should know me. I've been here since day one. I say about 86, 87, had my first record deal when I was 15 years old. That would be 85, 84. So, I'm just campaigning to make sure that this hip hop, stays in our hands and make sure, I'm one of them guys that really care about this vehicle right here. So that's how y'all would know searching.
Well,
Very
so,
dope.
Cool. Brother Jay?
yeah, my lord. I'm same as him. I'm just a hip hop, lover. You know what I'm saying, from the gate, and I blended with my soldier lifestyle. I was a black nationalist from 15 years old, and blending it with hip hop, sacrificing my ego, to put a message on the music, and we started a group called X Clan, and we merged with a movement called Black Watch, which was a organization created by my brother Lumumba Carson, well-spoken brother, who opened the door for a lot of youth who were, potentially in the realm of being misguided. It opened it up so hip hop had a purpose, and that we could stay focused. And I appreciate him with that. And years later, here we are, still building on what it is, man.
Cool.
Very dope. Can you guys recall when your paths crossed throughout the years for the first time?
Yeah.
Go ahead, let him have it. Let him have it. Brother Jay was over there trying to do sneaky employment.
Yeah, man. Jinx caught me in my Clark Kent. When I came out to Cali, I was trying to be on the low. I was doing events with a construction company. They wanted to do hip hop shows and stuff. So I think it was the 4th Ave Club and downtown.
Oh, it was the 333, the Glam Slam. It was Glam Slam.
Yeah, Glam Slam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
And I was in there doing security, doing multiple things as I always do, and trying to be on the low. And that brother wasn't having it. He was like, it's a Brother Jay. And I wasn't getting that a lot because, without my full crown and everything on, I think I was able to hide and whatnot. But, the brother's been in my head with the goodness all the time and let me not forget who I am and what I mean to the game. So, from day one playing Clark Kent to now, being full out, Superman at all times. My brother's been at my side since I got out here to the West. So that was over 20 years ago. So yeah, man, just in a nutshell, that's how it was.
Yeah. I kind of walked in, and I said, I know that guy. When you just like looking at somebody, I'm like, I know that guy. And then I think Brother Jay has this sense where he can tell when somebody is trying to do so. Now he's trying to play it off. So now I'm looking for him, and now he's playing it off. So it's like we playing that game, with 2 men running around the car.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute, man. And he had to, it is I. You busted me. And we've been friends ever since, man. I lived in the crib. I was in my crib, and my crib was like, kind of in the middle of where Brother Jay was going, between where Brother Jay would work and where he lived. And we just became two of the same that want to go we kind of think the same by wanting the same goals. And then we kind of talk to each other. We was like, man, I was thinking of that. Like, man, I was thinking of that. Like, how we both thinking about it. What can we do about it? Because if not, it's just going to be erased. And you know, when you kill the wolf, then the deer runs rapid. And this is where we're at now. So what are we going to do? We need more wolves.
Word. Yeah.
So, Brother Jay, so did you recognize Sir Jinx right away?
Yeah, off the gate.
Yeah.
That's why he was running from me.
Oh, that's dope.
It was a Magic Johnson party, so a lot of celebrities and stuff was coming through, and I was doing the security for the VIP section of the spot. So he spotted me off the gate. You know, I wanted to be in an arena where nobody would spot me in the regular consumer level things. I wanted to be in the celebrity where people just walk past each other, nod their head, whatever. And, you know, that brother called me out, man. He got me, man. But, it was all good. It was all for the good, man. I couldn't have had a better person to start out here with, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the mayor of this town and shit in a special way.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was some of your guys' early conversations when you first met? Was it more music? Was it more of a brotherhood? What kind of directions were you guys trying to move in unison?
Well, that's funny, man, because I couldn't stand hip hop at that time. You know what I'm saying? I came out here in '98. That was after I did Dark Sun Riders, and you know, I was still bitter about a lot of things that were happening in the next clan. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, you know, the game brings stuff out of your people, no matter if they family or not. You know what I'm saying? It can bring you out of your discipline. And I didn't want to do music. And I think the brother was very surprised. You know, I was a brother working construction, doing security, just doing things to keep myself surviving so I didn't have to depend on hip hop to feed me. You know what I'm saying? I was very much in that head. And, you know, my brother was there to remind me that I was respected for what I did, man, and I shouldn't bury it. You know, I shouldn't even look at any kind of retirement or anything like that. You know, I would have been satisfied just being like, I did this and I'm good. But, you know, he showed me that, you know, it meant a lot. He showed me that, you know, how the people in the streets out here were celebrating our music. And this is not the most, you know, this is not like African Village. You know what I'm saying? You know, LA is cowboys and Indians, but you know, blackness is blackness, no matter where it is. And it's always been a warm embrace out here from LA, man. And that brother was the first one to really show me what time that was.
And one of the things that drew me to Brother Jay is we keep going back and forth with the word called conscious and the word called hip hop. I always was hip hop. And I always was a conscious kind of person on how I am in my personal life. And so when everybody know when they come to my sessions and when I had my studio in my house, it was almost like a I don't know, how would you say it, Brother Jay? Like everybody, it was like a sauna, kind of like rebuild, understand yourself, because you can be having a conversation with another dude that got crazy lyrics that's just in a stump. You know, right. You can be good at what you do, but the people around you might, you know, stifle you. So when you know, I had a big backyard, like 100 feet or something, and you just go back there, and I swear, man, you like, I can't be doing as bad as other people, and I'm taking it for granted. And you know, me and Brother Jay have very long private conversations about the building of music. Not more or less me and him hooking up, but what could we do that we can mend this bridge of the gangster music, conscious music, because, you know, there's gangster conscious, and, you know, there's conscious gangster, you know, so we got to put them together so the people don't separate them and try to make them go against each other, because they was making gangster music and hardcore kind of go against the conscious, and the conscious couldn't curse and the gangster couldn't have content. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, how can we make this happen? And we were both basically looking for the same outcome. And it's very hard to find people that actually care about hip hop and care about the other genres of hip hop too. But more or less knowing how to make us work together. than letting the rest of the people make us separate. When we separate, then the whole hip hop genre loses. When they separate us from hip hop pop or strip hop or drill music or whatever, you can have anything you want. But at the end of the day, me and Brother Jay came together to bring it together because it's a beautiful harmony when you get serious gangster music and conscious music and hip hop music and one good ball of wax. I could say that's what me and Brother Jay intend on doing.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm not stopping until we have our own genre.
So you guys are trying to find a way, because correct me if I'm wrong, I've always took it as record labels and things of that nature was the cause of that separation. No?
Not to me.
Right.
Because this is the thing with the conscious music. It's something that can't be bottled. You feel what I'm saying? So it's hard for a label to say, I'm going to take your free state of mind and put it in a box and sell it to A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. So we were always unattractive to a brand. And the same thing with gangster music. Easy and them didn't need radio rotation. They were doing pirate radio at the time. You know what I'm saying? When things first came out, when NWA or anything, you weren't hearing it on broad daylight radio and whatnot. So, to me, the Black nationalist movement let me understand what's happening a little bit more as far as where that gap starts and ends. You feel me? Because if I was, the Yogi Hanzo of rap, and I'm sitting in the temple with my nose up talking about, yes, I'm breathing and, I'm eating good and feeding my spirit, I'm not concerned about what's happening in the streets where people are getting killed and so on. So the Black nationalism blended, my training at the time in temples and kept me in the street to see what's really going on. And then when I'm, and the same thing with gangster life, you're dealing with the streets. You're either protecting them, you know what I'm saying, or killing or whatever case may be, but you're still dealing with the politics of the streets. Black nationalism brings all of that together. At the end of the day, we all Black in the middle of this. There is no separation. If they separate our intelligences, then that's a problem and an issue. So where we address it in the music, you know what I'm saying, we are pioneers that can make those claims because we help mold artists and lyrics and iconic songs and so on in those genres. There's no reason it should be separated because at the end of the day, we are seen as Black individuals. So when we used to do shows and stuff back in the days, as I always talk with Jinx, I was talking Ghetto Boys and DJ Quick and different cats. You know what I'm saying? I've done shows with KRS and PE and everything. It never was a division. Mm-hmm. Everybody's speaking their side of their expression. My hood is not yours. You tell me your silver lining and the bad side of yours, and I tell you silver lining and the bad side of mine. There was no judgment. The industry did start dividing us to make us do like that, but I don't think there was somebody saying, "Yo, they're conscious. Don't let them on board." Otherwise, it would be no common. And not to say that you're saying that, but people do think that.
Right.
Well, Brother Jay, let me tell you this. There were people that actually pushed away from the conscious music because they wanted to show shock value. So yes, they do turn away. When when I was dealing with the exhibit situation and we was doing the 40-day and 40 nights run, and then we kind of flipped it up a little bit, and and then exhibit did the Bitch Please, and then we kind of moved over there. You can tell the difference when you see a conscious artist move into the limelight. They usually make him look like a clown unless he's a gangster. And if it's a gangster, then his background is look right. But when a conscious dude come in, they kind of make it look slave kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the part. If the gangsters stand up for the conscious, then the conscious can talk for the gangster. And then we work together, But if they do separate us, and trust, I've seen it. And they're doing it now with the I'm not going to go into that. I'm sure everybody know what I'm talking about. They're trying to separate us with that. That is not a category of rap. How are they making it a category? You feel me? So we
Talking about
gonna
the
just
drill?
start making the categories stick together so we can sell music, huh?
Yeah.
No, I was saying you talking about the drill,
Yeah.
Talking about the what?
Drill
the drill hip hop that
No,
that
I'm talking about the other music. No, I'm not talking about drill music. I'm talking about homosexuality music.
Right.
That is not a genre of music, and they're trying to make it into a genre. So if we don't stick together, they're going to let that become a Grammy or a Soul Train award.
Right.
Right.
If we don't stand up about what we doing, gangster, down south, up north, drill music, trap music, then they're going to say anything can be rap music.
Yes. And I agree. And the
I
thing,
landed.
like we spoke earlier, that it couldn't be bottled. Conscious music or lyric and content couldn't be bottled. If a gangster's speaking about real life
Right.
situations and not drawing it up as a script, that can't be bottled. So you had two sides. So if you write a new script for folks that makes it easy to follow, like if there's an agenda involved, you kind of can set the script and know where it's going.
Right.
With us, you don't know. We're gonna get up in the middle of an interview and say, police are killing us or whatever, in the middle of a million people touring it like Kanye did. All right, Kanye, when he said George Bush, is racist and so on and so on, out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel that the airways should be used for that. We're not up here to buck the system that we're forced to use. You know what I'm saying? But there should be a message, and there should be a higher agenda of keeping us unified than further separating us. You know what I'm saying? That's the overall that really keeps me and my brother together, and other artists who feel in that same genre. There's no difference there shouldn't be any difference between The Game and Mos Def and Common and NWA or any of that. We all cousins and brothers in this. And now that we've grown up and we're beyond, all of our money unified, all of our efforts and talents unified, who's gonna stop us? There's nobody behind any desk with horns and a pitchfork telling us not to unify. At this stage, it would just strictly be us and our egos and strange competition that we have no time for.
Right. Can you clear this up for me? We tend to say conscious, right? When we're talking about a certain message in songs or artists that, project a certain message, right? Of positivity, let's say.
Right.
Would it not make sense to put out there that even if you're, let's say, so-called gangster music or whatever, that's conscious music as well?
Well, I mean,
maybe it wouldn't be such a
I get this a lot.
Okay.
To your point about the conscious, and this is not to say that certain people are awakened and certain people are not. It's about the focus. Now, when I look at a Too Short, I look at independent power. Okay, more so than bitch, lick my ass, whatever's kicking. I look at the independent power of Too Short saying you don't have to sell out to A, B, and C. If you're willing to work, you can do A, B, and C to get yourself to a point. So I'm not into his personal thing. Like how Malcolm said, your religion, you know what I'm saying, your lifestyle, all that's your personal business. How you come to the front line is what counts. So when it comes to our music, when I say conscious music and conscious artists, I'm referring to people who take that positive lifestyle and put it on the front part, the faceplate, the whole nine, to put that whole organic, grounding in the forefront and not be distracted by, hey, I call women, bitches and hoes or whatever case may be, but I'm a good guy. We're saying all be in one place. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I'm stressing. If this is a genre that we're trying to create, then bring people who live the lifestyle of being positive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think these people want to get on record and say I'm shooting people and killing people. Then you actually get out of the studio and go do that. You're painting a picture. I can't go look at Denzel Washington play, Frank Lucas and say, yo, man, you're not conscious. You're negative. You're reading bad scripts.
Right.
I can't do that. It's what you do to follow up and where your inspiration begins and ends with me as far as conscious. Now, when it comes to conscious music,
yeah,
okay, I can't
right.
put it too short to say he's doing conscious music. He may be a conscious person, but he's not
But he's not
spitting.
doing conscious music. Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
So it's a matter of where you read your script from,
Mhm.
you know, to complete the equation. We're doing conscious music. I'm not saying that any of these artists from NWA to Megan Thee Stallion, I'm not saying that people, but don't spit conscious music. Okay, when I read your
Gotcha.
lyrics, it's not something you can sit in front of a family and
Yeah.
inspire them with. We're trying to get to the point where that conscious music is a regular thing. All right. Why shouldn't we, right, as grown people, be doing something that's, you know, to inspiration? Labels will continue to endorse that other foolishness because it's easy to bottle. All right. They look at the money that porn music made. They look at the money that gangster films and shit has made, and they say, look, man, if we do the soundtrack to that shit, we're good.
Right.
All right. But there's never been a template where you could say, well, damn, this worked with you know, with somebody else that's positive, like an Al Green, or, you know, whoever may have been in the past. That's like, you know, Al Green was a preacher. You know, when he got outside of the love and happiness and what people was doing with him, they started falling off. Like, hey man, we want you to do A, B, and C. And he's feeling another side of himself. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to commercially push him in a place because the music industry is not the best for inspirational things. It's not built for that. Okay, it's built for what the people want. And if the people are saying, yo, man, I like Al Green when he was nappy head and, you know, singing at the women's rather than behind the pulpit, dressed sharp, doing whatever. If the people let go of you, then the brand lets go of you. That's why I don't usually blame the brand. They're going to go at what's easiest to follow, but it's the people that govern to say, yo, man, don't take him out of this, man. We want that. And that changes the game completely. You know, we don't have that kind of loyalty. Rock music has that loyalty. Punk rock has that loyalty. Country music has that loyalty. Hip hop does not have that loyalty, bro.
Why?
I don't know, man.
I can't figure that out.
and this is why we're here doing this concert, bro, because I would hate to believe that people would not support something like this in the face of what's been happening for the last 15, 20 years. The most ridiculous music is number one on our charts. People are basically buying their way. It's back to like back in the days when you used to buy the little pyramids and circles in Billboard magazine to say you gold and platinum and so on. There's nothing that now. Because once you buy social media influence, you're through the roof. If you buy your way to 10 million people on your little page to say this is what we rock, and people go and measure you from that. People actually make cards of shows for that. Okay, so there's certain people on this Red Pill show that wouldn't have qualified to be on a pay-per-view event because if they're not social, like taking pictures with their dog and their food, and you got, you know, 1 million people following you all your day, then it's not attractive to something that's trying to monetize. And I said, I beg to differ with that because all of the artists here are handpicked from here, and I've seen them in every arena perform to the highest, and I've seen nothing but love come their way. And this is just a first showing of a list of people that have been brushed to the side, not brushed under the rug, but brushed to the side so someone else can be put in the forefront. They haven't even given, you know, an award to some of these people before Grammys and all kinds of stuff are being thrown at these young artists that have nowhere near the veteranship of a Public Enemy or a Mad Lion or any of these kind of things. And I felt like, hey man, I have a platform, and I could have just did, you know, X-Clan album, documentary, and just did my little thing with Music Time. But I talked to my partners and I said, you know what, I want to do something different. I want to roll the dice, man, and really see all these people that are on my page saying, we want to see you, and we want to see Poor Righteous Teachers and Brand Nubian and Dead Prez. We want more of that. Now, all of them will be hypocrites if they do not participate in this. You understand?
Right.
They were all waiting for me and Chuck to go into verses. That's how this whole thing started.
Okay. We wanted to get into that. Yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it started because Once Kane and Chuck did that, it was like, what's the next thing? And I said, man, I think me and Chuck would be the perfect candidates if they're already in the flavor of, of letting artists of the era get on. I said, what other time would be best? And that would be like versus saying, okay, we're not going to always go at the commercial heads like that. We're going to go with something that's powerful and positive. They would have redefined their audience jumping to get with us. And then I said to myself, they're not going to reach to us. You talking about 40 songs conscious for 2 hours and we hitting bangers. Chuck D's catalog is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying between that X-Clan and Public Enemy not going at each other, but doing a showcase of positive music on that platform.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I went to Music Time and I said, yo, man, I don't want to have a battle with Chuck. I want to have a showcase of artists of that kind of flavor, that conscious music that I speak of. You know what I'm saying? The era when you can remind, even when Mad Lion's singing, you know what I'm saying? I know people look at him like, he's singing Shoot to Kill, this, that, and the other. He's an element of blackness. He's an element of our streets. There are people who feel like that in defense of our streets. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to include that mentality. I'm not here as a black nationalist talking about I'm walking up the street with boxing gloves, man. We have to be strapped and we have to be, mentally strapped as well. So, he is an icon. When he starts singing, people who are of that 90s era, even 2000 era, are going to start singing something from him. And that means he's made an impact and an influence to them. And I'm saying, come up here and sing your music and your vibration and your expression. And don't feel like you're being judged for anything. You understand? Right. Just come and be free. That's the one thing that they don't feel with conscious artists, that they're not free enough. And I beg to differ with that, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right into the Red Pill here momentarily, that pay-per-view coming up March 19th. Personally, I felt like hip-hop was gaining momentum with the message in the early 90s. At what point do you think that started to change?
That's deep, man. I don't want to say when Dre really hit, like with Chronic and stuff, that it changed. It wasn't one person killing what consciousness was. I think when they took samples from us, all right, because being based in New York, a lot of the conscious artists first were like 5% heads. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't put into like a religious bracket, like you can't do this, you can't sing about this. Like if cats were Christian rappers, then there's certain things they wouldn't be able to say. The 5% was a little bit more loose, where you're street mason, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So when we were recycling and creating these collages of production, we had access to other people's material, so we can pay somebody we're sampling on the back end, or pay them out of a budget that we're getting from a label. Now, once you tell us that sampling is becoming over expensive and they starting to charge us, it became outrageous to do that. Now, if we weren't playing instruments and things of that level, then we were going to be ass out. And the one thing about, conscious artists at that time is that, money was not our focus. If you're thinking all spirituality all the time, you're not thinking that shit costs. So real talk. You know what I'm saying? When you got to pay for them samples and shit, and you really can keep that in your pocket, and you trying to sneak under the radar, you're going to see a lot of cats sued. You're going to see a lot of cats not wanting to come out. And I think they made an example of that with Bismarck, God bless. They sued him. They sued a lot of different artists who were trying to sneak. And these records are going big, and you're not paying these artists. You're using drum patterns straight off the break records and trying to tuck them underneath like nobody can hear that.
Yeah.
They were using that sound tools back in the days to separate your shit, to show you that the frequencies match. You can't escape, the fingerprint of a track. So when we started losing that, the ability to lean on other music, then that's when I felt that the loss of power in the game started to happen. The Fugees were a major example of what we should have been doing. Take some time out, learn how to play some instruments, and reinvent yourself. That's what we should have been looking at, that as the blueprint. The same thing with Dre. You know, when if you got a break beat, you put it in Dre's hand, you may not even recognize it anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's taking it to the next plane. We weren't evolving, you know. So conscious artists started looking like cheapskates. We had all the lyrical content of a high spoken word artist, but we weren't paying to play the game like some of the pop artists that were in there. So now, if you talking ignorant lyrics and sexual shit, it's easy to bottle, and you go into a label, they'll just say to you, "Hey, don't sample," and you can make more money. So you look at a Drake, look at how fast his stardom was. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's minimum samples in that situation. You probably just got a couple of good keyboard players and a good drum producer and good script writers, and you can go. So artists today will be getting paid a lot more than if we just kept that sample culture alive. We will always be paying someone else and never enjoying that chips. So you can imagine now the big cars, the houses, the watches, everything. Why? Because they're getting full residuals, dog. I feel that shot us in the foot very heavily, man. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I remember seeing there was a clip of Method Man where he was saying, "Man, where are these kids getting all the money from? How are they, they just come out and got all these chains and houses and cars." Makes a lot of sense.
Hell yeah. You think, yo, bro, those people giving us $150,000, $200,000 to do projects because you're getting like an R&B budget. They didn't even know how to give us money. But in their head, they're saying, well, they're very sample heavy, so make sure that in that budget, y'all are all in one. Don't try to spend all the money on dumb shit and then come back and say, hey, I took a sample from George Clinton. I took a sample from Bill Withers and expect them to pay for it. That comes out of your budget. That's part of production. Okay?
Right.
So now if I'm a new artist, I make a beat on my watch. I take some of these kits and stuff. They giving all the drum kits away. You know how long I would have to travel back in the days, like 10 years, and knowing the right DJs to build, half of the drum kit levels that they're giving away right now. Them heavy 808s and certain specific sounds already EQ. Come on, man. If you didn't know somebody who really was into drum kits and patterns and sounds and notes,
you didn't get it.
You wasn't gonna get that, dog. So now it's just giving away. It's so easy. Okay. So I said to myself, I said, yo, it's the best time to get behind conscious artists because it don't take a lot. Okay. And it's so deep that me and Jinx link up, you know what I'm saying? Because now as DJ in-house, with X-Clan and the Culture United movement that we're building, it's a statement. It's saying Jinx is not to be labeled as a gangster producer. When you go to Quincy Jones, you just say producer. He's well-rounded in whatever he has to do. Same thing with Jinx. He's well-rounded in whatever the mission is. I'm saying to him, I need conscious artists sounding like whatever Snoop was doing, whatever the Game was doing. Their music was triumphant, dog. Okay? Right. So I want to hear Cyrock and Wise Intelligent, the Cambadas and all the little cats that I'm hearing now. I want to hear what that sounds like on that kind of production. What would it be for a Battle Cat to get behind Black Thought with a Brother Jay on the song? What would that sound like? That's never been done.
Right.
So we're introducing that flow to what's happening now.
So is this concert that's going to be taking place March 19th? Is this sort of like a launching pad to the idea that you guys are putting together? Is this sort of like the first of many?
Yes. And what originally, I'm doing a show with Music Time that reviews conscious hip hop and roots reggae. All right. Because roots reggae goes to the same thing with versus dancehall. Everybody's lick it and stick it and this and that. And roots reggae is building on a whole different vibration, so they get less respect.
Right.
Think about Buju. When he was straight roots, he would just have straight reggae audience. But when he does something pop with a Beanie Man or one of these other cats that's high dance hall, then he gets recognition from the pop world. Shabba Rank, when they dissed him out of the pop world and he went roots and started building, you never hear nothing about Shabba Ranks.
Right.
So I adopted them into the show as well. So, you know, you'll see artists like Chronic, you know what I'm saying, and a Pyramid. What's his name? I always say his name wrong. Ibaka Pyramid, who rolls with Chronics. There's a couple of cats who have like a hip hop reggae type of presence. Mad Lion was one of the first ones doing that. So I brought him to the table to say, look, we're bringing in all the houses and the genres as far as roots are concerned and organic, you know, composition. You know what I'm saying? So this concert was, it becomes like the UFC. If people perform well on the shows that we have, the radio station, the people are calling in to Coach United Radio saying, yo, that song by Timbo King is dope. Yo, I love that Planet Asia joint, such and such. Then you see those favorites of them on this pay-per-view. You feel me? So I'm not just picking people like, oh, you were dope back in the days, come on board. No, you got to be active and the people got to respond to your creativity in order to get on this type of a card. So that's how I chose to do this series. So when I have future ones, God willing, that we produce, you'll see these kinds of talents. You start seeing the brand Nubians, the Dead Prez, the KRS, you know, the Pharaoh Monch. When last time you seen Pharaoh Monch get down? Do you think one of these other platforms are going to invite him to come and say, yo, man, do some of your catalog? Come on, that brother was building futuristically back then.
Right.
And he would be well, you know, full open arms here to come here. He fits here on our video shows, on where we rotate music, all of that. It's a different home for them now. There's no one gonna come and tell Brother Jay, come on, sell out and start playing booty music on your channel. That's not gonna happen here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not excluding anybody else, but like I said, it has to be thorough. I can go and sit and break bread with Too Short, E40, whoever it is, on my own personal time. But when it comes to this music, I can only play when you're wearing the conscious, you know, faceplate that matches you as a man. I can't go and play the music that you say, yo, I gotta go to work. I don't care what you think or anybody else thinks. I gotta go to work. So I'm saying I gotta go to work too.
Right.
I exist in my genre. If I don't do this, I represented the movement. How would I look doing my first pay-per-view with Music Time and just picking what's hot? Well, he got 30 million followers. Let's go get him. And they got 15 million. Let's go get them. No, let's get icon people that help people out of hard times. And their music is still bopping. Chuck is still touring. Okay? So it's not like he was touring, you know, 20, 30 years ago and I'm digging up the graveyard and saying, hey, man, come and do a show. No,
right.
This man's still active. Okay? Every artist on that roster is still active. And the same thing with the artists that I'm picking. And for someone like Soleil, she's still creative. Though she hasn't been on a hip hop stage, she's still creative. Her show was incredible. You know what I'm saying? The choreographing and everything that was going on, she pays attention. And the one thing that I can count on from her is the professionalism. Because you lived in an era where we had to exist as professionals, as young people. So we had to learn what it was, presenting your record, doing the mix, mastering it, doing the different levels of what it is to stay in the recording industry. Those are the people that I went for to start this process.
You said you initially got the idea because I believe fans were wanting the Chuck versus yourself. At what point did everything start to materialize and you came up with this idea to have a pay-per-view concert?
You know what? The reality came for me to say, Jay, them people ain't gonna call you. Stop trying to get, you know, the people riled up, because I posted something on my page like, yo, I would love to do something with Chuck D in that same way that Chris and Kane did. And then it shot out everywhere. Everybody was hitting verses. You know, I started seeing write-ups in the magazine. You know what I'm saying? People started picking it up because now it was something. I realized the conscious audience has never had anything to talk about on a major level, man, unless one of us was touring on our own. Like if X-Clan was going out, yo, Clan is going out. Public Enemy's going out. Wise Intelligence doing something. Everybody has separate places where they can go and dig into that pocket. It never was a super show. Okay.
Right.
So I said, instead of me waiting, let me come to the reality and build my own. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. It was, I'm not gonna sit here in denial, like, you know, like, yeah, they're gonna choose us, man. We made such an impact. You know, people up there probably don't even know who the hell we are. And
Right.
I'm thinking, like, you know, like they're well versed, you know, in hip hop or whatever. And they may be, not to say that they're not, but I'm saying their machine is not built for that. Their
Right.
machine is built for Bone Thugs got 10 million followers. 666 Mafia got 10 million followers. We're gonna go with this and try to get the bulk of whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm rolling the dice to increase everybody on that card to increase their social following. Because my thing is, a lot of people are tired of just one dimension when it comes to music. I'm not saying cut out the booty music and this and that. It's all form of our expression. But there has to be a balance. At 24 hours in the day, you don't even have a show that says 2 hours of this is going toward inspiration. All right?
Right.
And when I say inspiration, people always think I'm talking about like gospel music or something like that. And I'm saying gospel does not govern inspiration. Okay? It's a part of inspiration that someone chooses to do through a religious outlet. Inspiration is put down when you write it and express it. So we have never had a category. They've never put Common and Black Thought and cats like that who make excellent music. Conscious music category goes to whatever. You put Common, Lil Kim, Usher. Y'all even had the nerve to put Prince in the category with Little Kim's and shit like that, and Ron Isley and all kind of people mashed up into this R&B hip hop situation. That's not what's up, bro. That's not what's up. If you got Blue Eyed Soul, then there should be conscious music somewhere in this piece. And I don't need any permission for anybody to tell me, because I'm not trying to get into Grammys as a position. I have my own platform. I can do my own award show. I can continue to honor these people in my programs, my video shows, my radio program. I can continue to do what I need to do. And I'm
Right.
sure a lot of people want to get in that kind of an alliance.
Right. How did Music Time get involved with you?
I've known Music Time, Brother Will McKinney and Brother Delano. I've known them for 9 years. And I remember when they were Movie Time. And we were building on doing some things with the documentary. I was venturing into reality show. I had a show called Camp True, where I was taking hip hop artists in and giving them a detox period and seeing their creative power from before and after. You know what I'm saying? So when a person cleans and detoxes, their mind is different. So he took to that and found out that I had a couple of other shows and programs that have evolved now. We've been since done those things and had episodes on those shows. We just have not released them. So I said, when you get Music Time going on, come rock with me, because I want to have a wing for this Culture United movement that I'm doing. I want to have a wing for that to build specifically for conscious artists. And at that time, he was working with Preachers of LA, which was a #1 reality show for a minute. And I was just studying the way that, you know, that reality show situation started blowing up, you know, because remember, Flav was doing it, and, you know, so many things were spilling out. And I was like, you know, where do I fit in, you know, in that world? Because I'm not a person to have somebody with a camera running around behind me all the time. I don't feel like I'm interesting enough for something like that. And usually they look for stark drama and craziness. So he was telling me just what we were trying to propose was enough. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have any of that organic thinking in that reality world at that time. You're talking about taking hip hop artists and they're going to be dropping weight, you know, releasing, you know, and things in the back of their head, traumas of as far as being in the music game and so on. And I'm changing that, you know, almost like how Marriage Camp was. You know what I'm saying? And how UFC was, where you're walking with stages, people all in the house and you're getting adjusted and y'all got to go perform, do community service, different things. Everybody doesn't get along. So that would have been a great thing to see legends in hip hop in a different environment. I was filming this way up north in the woods, so there's no, running like I'm gonna pack my bags and run. You want to run down the mountain and get lost in the woods? Go ahead.
Right.
So the people at Music Time love that. So, or Movie Time at the time, so they love that. So we've always kept a bond. We just had never done a project together. So finally, they became Music Time. They sold Movie Time, and they created Music Time. And I said, now I can come in and be the A&R that I am. Now I can come in and take my X-Clan catalog, and now I have a home. I'm not waiting for Universal. Do you like my music? Do you think I stand a chance or any of that kind of thing? I'm as good as the paper that I put out. You know what I'm saying? I tell artists all the time, if you really believe in yourself, reinvest in yourself. If you're asking somebody else to pay your tab, that's not you taking the risk. That's you being a salesman. Okay? When you invest in yourself, you're going to look at every dime and every one of your moves with strategy, and that's what I did with Music Time.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about the concept behind the Red Pill?
Well, the Red Pill, originally, this was named after the video show, which was Conscious Powers. That's the name of our video program. And the Music Time team didn't feel that was a good seller. You know what I'm saying? So, he came up with the concept, being in film and everything. He said, yo, the Red Pill is perfect because, the Red Pill was about, you letting go of the baggage, of the foolishness, and getting on into what the reality is, waking up. So I said, man, that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect for what it is because it's not red or blue pill. It's red pill, no other option. I would have took a picture with the pill and the sword in the other hand like it's one or the other, like how we say freedom or death.
Right.
There is no option at this stage. There's no straddling the fence at this stage. Your kids, when music comes on, 3 out of 5 kids are twerking. Okay? 3 out of 5 kids are saying language that's beyond their age bracket. Okay? So there is no choice as far as I'm concerned. So, ride or die with this situation, bro. It's not different for me to do this with the public. They know what X-Plan has always been about, and it has never changed.
So with Music Time, I'm just becoming aware of it. I saw a post that shout out to Medusa. You know what I mean? She posted something about this concert coming up, and that's how I became familiar with it. What are you guys doing as far as getting Music Time, like out there so that more and more people become aware of the platform?
Well, these kind of shows, bringing in X-Clan Public Enemy to start the pay-per-view off, I think is a solid step. You know what I'm saying? And doing quality situations to back that, because they had a situation at Music Time where they were hosting the Babies concert. And that was going to be their launch. I think it was about a year or two ago when the COVID started. And the arena closed off and stopped them from doing that pay-per-view. So their launch was kind of halted. If they did that, they would have had 1 million people on that platform. 1 million people bought tickets to go to this thing. So they had to refund everything back to the people that were coming. So you imagine that kind of blow. Some people don't come from that. So me knowing the ups and downs of business, I say, yo, man, you built an intelligent platform. It's sovereign in its own way. Nobody can shut us off or anything. And I think that's powerful in today's stage because someone is always leaning on something where if they say a bad word, they're shut off. Or if you got more people than you expected, then it's crashing and doing all kinds of things. They were prepared for that. So I said, look, man, I would want to do something along the lines of what y'all did. I would love to pick one of these little 15 million, person artists in their YouTube and all this other thing. That's easy work. But I said, if we're willing to do something different, dog, with powerful people, it's not like I just pick anybody. You know what I'm saying? We talking about X-Clan PE. Every time we've done tours, as comrades in the past, all of our houses were sold out. So The same thing that I would say for the other artists on the card. Has played a major part in the game at one time. So just to bring it together solid where you have new music to offer. You're not just doing a bunch of classics like, remember this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, word. Because if you do that, then you're dating. You're automatically cutting off the new generation. I don't have to come out to rhyme to trap music to relate. I have to just continue to be dope and continue to know and be focused in what my agenda is, which is to say, yo, man, I'm out here to reach you and touch you, period. And I think everybody on this card, I know everybody on this card does that, you know, on the music and then outside the music. You know, I have to show them Soleil again. They remember Soleil from Who Dat with JT Money and all of that thing. And, you know, and what she was basically a gangster artist at that time frame. And now she is a holistic teacher. Okay, but she still got the fire. So where's she gonna go now? She's not gonna go back to the gangster shit. She's going forward on where she is. So who would give her the opportunity to sit in front of thousands of people and perform her piece? None of these platforms would, bro. Okay, and that's just one example. The Wise Intelligence, all of this other thing. You know, Mad Lion. Where would you be sitting with a Sir Jinx? Doing right now, man. So, you know, that's just an example of just how some of these artists will be playing their position in what we're building here. You know, establishing themselves shows. I don't want just rap from these people. I want to see different shows come from them. There's no reason that Professor Griff shouldn't be like Alex Jones. You know what I'm saying? Same level of information, same level of research, dedication. Why not? If I got a sovereign platform, you know I'm going to put my money behind something like that. You know, if Soleil is teaching people around the world, why wouldn't I want to have her do belly dancing or whatever the hell she wants to do? You know what I'm saying? It's wide open, blank canvas, so to speak. You feel me?
Right.
So each artist that I work with in this pay-per-view and our different shows, I can say, yo, man, you cook. You know, we dealt with Stickman and his wife. She has a full recipe book. He's doing fitness. Why wouldn't I want to do a reality show around them? Just like how Iman Shumpert and the girl, you know, why couldn't I do a love and hip hop situation like that with them? And who's gonna tell me? As long as I got the bread to put up for production and pay the camera people, I don't see why we can't do that. And that's what it's all about, man. There's a lot of music that they skip over, man. There's a lot of good music that they skip over, and I'm just amazed at how, you know, people are just dancing to foolishness, man. It's disrespectful, you know, and young generation, because now, you know what I'm saying, when we were doing this back in the days, we didn't have the bread. But now that we have the money, you know what I'm saying, in-house, don't go dumb. Don't be coonish, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because that's too predictable at this stage. You know, it's like, yo, watch the niggers dance for money here and wag it in our face. You know, that's not what time is, man. You can't give to that kind of behavior. And it's really been knucklehead like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to offer a balance. I'm not here to verse that. I can't verse what's been successful for the past 10, 15 years because it's glued in now. You know what I'm saying? It's glued in now. People get mad if you say something about this cat and that cat, like, yo, you don't like him, man? I really like that. That song changed my life, because that's all they've been offered. Okay? It wasn't like they had other options. The music game is oversaturated. When they opened up this digital game from the time of the MP3, bro, it's been oversaturated. You know, because everybody feels like, you know, do it at home. But, you know, just add water. What about all the training? What about all the years of paying dues and touring and all of this stuff? All of that's been pushed to the side. All of a sudden, you sing better than somebody that's had strong song training, notes and development. Now you just put a little robotic sound on it and put it out and feel like I'm better than whoever. That's bad, bro. That's bad. That's bad for producers. You know, you think about Sir Jinx. You know, where would somebody be able to afford the dues that you paid in the game? You know what I'm saying? His cousin is a billionaire in the game that's never done wrong in this game. As far as Dre is concerned, musically, he's never done anything wrong in the game. Every time they put something out, gold overnight, platinum in a week. Okay, so now that era of production is down because now I can put my son, 15 years old, in front of the situation and say, watch the YouTube video. He's going to teach you how to use the MP.
Yeah.
Okay, you go ahead and learn just swag of whatever is happening because with trap music, it's like reggae or house music. The drum patterns are the same. The tempo
Same.
is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You can make 7 beats a day and fuck around and get and sign them somewhere because it's not a headache. There's nothing to clear. There's not. It's just a matter of a person accepting you, either putting you on the splits and or buying you out, and you can be a household producer within 2 weeks up against somebody that's been producing for 20 years, and people can't afford to be in that kind of coaching. Okay, when you deal with Jinx, that house he was talking about, that was like a house that's Mitchy Slick, Exhibit, Faison, you know, anybody may come by there. Dre may come by there. Ice Cube may come by there. There's so many people coming through to get tracks, to take a moment, to get an idea, to get a better creative hold on what they're doing because he's a coach. Okay?
Right.
So it was a place for me to come through as well. And that's why I said it wasn't about, oh, you're a conscious rapper. I can't give you anything. No, you're a producer. And you can be giving me the inspiration to make me want to approach this game from a different angle. Okay? That's how our friendship was. And I want to offer that friendship to the game to say we approach each other without prejudice. All right? So now when these beats come, you can't hear that heavy funk from one of these producers out here that I work with and say, oh, that's that funk thing that y'all deal with. That's gangster funk. No, ain't no gangster funk. George Clinton was, it wasn't no gangster funk. You know what I'm saying? It was connected to our DNA, you know, that comes from beyond here. You know what I'm saying? Take your imagination to that place and get rid of the prejudice. And I've always been that. X-Clan, we were sampling funk because funk was the business. I wasn't sampling it to say I want to make a big impact in the West. That's the last thing ever on my mind. I sampled what was dope. So the fact that funk was so heavy in bass and composition and matched with my voice was not as deep as it is now, but it was mature for a 15, 16-year-old back then. So for me to put that on a beat that was giving me that bass and that deepness that I needed to support my intention, I want to share that. And the heavy composition that's happening out here in the Western production, crazy, bro. Endless. And I know some of these artists with that kind of flavor behind it is going to be a whole different planet, bro. You imagine if I had like 5 corrupts right now that wasn't hollering about shooting and killing and banging. You understand me? Imagine. That's crazy right now. As long as the people will want that, I have a plethora of levels of that to offer, man. Female and male, bro.
Very dope. On March 19th, the Red Pill pay-per-view featuring X-Clan, Public Enemy, Mad Lion, Cyrock, Wise Intelligent, Soleil, and hosted by Sir Jinx. Anybody else I'm missing on this particular card?
No, I think you got everybody. I think you got everybody. Big up to Music Time. Big up to Soul Messiah. In support of Cyrock, he was a great help to us, and Professor Griff also. I must make honorable mention of him. He definitely, you know, helped us out, helped on the PE set. It was lovely to see them together. You know what I'm saying? We wish we could have had the whole squad, but as this grows, you're gonna see a lot of reunions that people haven't expected, man. This is a total ground of peace and life and understanding. And I just like everybody to come together, have a good time, and bang their heads, man. You know what I'm saying? Bang them heads with the hip hop that we know that we deserve, man.
What message do you hope the new generation gets from the Red Pill?
To know your history and to support it. You understand? Nothing is free. You understand me? Anytime that you wanted to say, yo, man, I salute you and thank you for what you did back in the days, put a tip in their cup, man. I'm opening this door for people to give love to the people that were of that era, because they didn't get the big deals and the TV, millions and millions or whatever. We got too much pride in conscious music. We have to get over ourselves with that. That's something I had to work on. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to say, yo, I'm doing something solid. Y'all come support me, and not feel funny about it. We always too humble with ours. Like, here's my offering, take it when you're ready. No, I didn't offer any other options, the red pill or nothing. Either you want to wake up or you don't. And that's the bottom line. So I want them to understand no compromise. Okay? The same people that are killing us in the street, the same system that's doing that is the same system that wants you to be a buffoon. Until you show me a country Lil Wayne, or in classical music, you show me one of these other Kodak Blacks in one of those genres, then I feel like there is some kind of target on hip hop to keep feeding us foolishness at a frequency. So this is our opportunity to say we want to support something of a higher frequency as well. We can take a break. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to just have steak and potatoes. I can understand the vegetable. I can understand what it is and what it does for me. Okay, it's part of the plate. We're not trying to govern the plate. I'm not trying to make y'all vegans overnight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, you got to detox for a moment. It's been a little bit savage. You got to come down and bring it down a little bit, and that's where we're at.
Brother Jay, before we go, I want to ask you a question. So hip hop is coming up on its 50th anniversary soon. What's your thoughts on that?
It should mean more. You know what I'm saying? You look at the NBA 75, even they handled that in a jumbled way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't like that too much.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going to happen with the hip hop thing. It's like, what are we celebrating? Half of us gave up and said, man, the young heads got it, man. Just let them go. You know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna come together like it's all good. I can't. That's going to be very interesting in seeing how they celebrate. What are y'all going to celebrate? The trap museum is going to do something different. You know what I'm saying? There's no, like we're talking, there's no common ground for us to come together and say, yo, man, I respect you, Fat Joe. Yo, I respect you, Dr. Dre. Yo, I respect you, Common. I respect you, Black Thought. There's no place to do that. Okay? That's what's going to be very interesting when you say 50th. Everybody's going to be doing their own thing. Oh, we do boom bap over here. Oh, we do Afro punk over here. Or we do this over here. Everybody's going to be separate. What kind of unity is that? After 50 years, we still have not learned. Okay? The young heads have the power now to say, I don't want to grow up in separation. I want to know a Black Thought just like I know a Drake. I want to know a Pusha T and a Chuck D. I want to know what it is, and I want to see exactly when I'm on that frequency where I want to hear a hustler talk about his days. I turn on the Pusha T. When I want to hear Chuck D express from an educator and a Black militant standpoint, I don't have to go dig under my mom's bed and pull a CD out. It should be available for you to hear. You know what I'm saying? I listen to music of all eras, rock, soul, everything. This generation seems to be so one-dimensional, okay? And I would want them to be better, especially 50 years. Don't let them because look, 20 years from now, y'all music will be going through the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I had these problems back in the 90s. When I was coming up, doing music, it was still my girl is this and my car is fresh and my rims, whatever. It was the same, still materialistic foolishness going on. It's just that now it's more available because commercial cats are saying, hey, sign to a 360 deal and your salary is set and just create for me. And you can have the car and the chains and do whatever it is. There's so much money for hip hop now because the artist doesn't have any morals. Okay, they're thinking like, yo, man, I don't want to work. I got a tattoo on my face and the side of my neck, dog. Nobody's gonna hire me. I'll take what you got. That's giving up. Okay? Instead of you building your own, instead of 5 of your homies coming together and saying, let's build a solid business. Okay? Y'all are just individually selling yourselves as slaves to different institutions. That's crazy to me. So if anything on the 50th, I would want them to analyze and say, how do we spend the next 20, 30 years without being slaves to the game? Y'all go back and study Prince. Y'all go back and study Michael Jackson. And now that they're gone, you can see how their catalog was treated. Every person in the game is sounding like Michael Jackson right now. Okay? From a Pharrell to the girl who does the Time Machine song, you doing even the gestures of Michael Jackson. But when he was alive, y'all call him Jacko. Y'all want to roll with the media. He's doing this and doing that. Come on, man. And then you go bite his sound. Y'all dog R. Kelly for whatever he is or isn't or whatever. That's not my judgment. But you take his sound and you clone it. Okay? We are original. Black music is originators. How do we become clone bots to everything? Okay, so that means that the system is winning. If we're becoming artificial and cyborg with this game, then that's a problem. And at the 50th anniversary, that should be addressed to start bringing things together. We should be teaching people how to be original. Stop trying to rotate things that weren't yours and be original. That's what we should be doing at a 50th anniversary, to answer what you're saying, my lord.
It's interesting your take on it, right? For example, when I think of hip hop turning 50, right? In my mind, I'm thinking, graph artists, breakers. I'm thinking the whole, hip hop as a whole in that sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? But listening to what you're saying, I agree with you.
Right.
How it's going to be probably separated. And the reason why I bring that up, and I know we could talk about this forever, but just your last take on this. Like I said, when I hear the word hip hop, I'm thinking music, DJs, dancers, graph artists, writers. I'm thinking the whole package. That's how that's what I grew up in. But you don't really see too much of that being pushed. I mean, you see the breakers are still doing their thing. They still have their events and they're doing their thing. The graph artists are still out there, obviously, and still working and still doing things. But is it together?
How could it be?
No, that's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah, because look, the tempo, if we turn on the radio right now, none of the tempos that we would hear for the top songs are breakdancer worthy.
Right.
They're barely DJ worthy to cut. Okay? Because this generation is so experimental that you've gotten from a point where we can't even normalize your situation until we say we're just doing a trap night tonight. Okay? So how in the world could we get together and say, okay, we're gonna play some Drake and then play some Roots and then play some this and play some of that? The tempos and everything are different. You got people dancing like pogo sticks rather than dancing in a feel-good pocket.
Right,
and y'all in radio and music, you know what the difference of that is.
Of course.
A feel-good pocket is different than dancing in a pogo stick. I'm not gonna be doing this on the dance floor while I'm dancing with my girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have talent show dances now that you feel so out of the loop when you go to a party. Like, damn, how did it's one thing not to know the electric slide, but it's like 50 dances to different songs, and cats don't even realize you're throwing up all kinds of sets, dances, and different things from neighborhoods that are not even yours. You're not even hip to what's happening. Okay, so how are you going to take the era of feel good and the era of follow the monkey and put it all in the same room? That doesn't make sense. Okay. And if anything, if people do celebrate the 50th on a commercial platform, they're not looking at any of the elements that we're thinking to do that.
See, that's when I'm thinking celebrating 50 years of hip hop, that's what's on my mind. You know what I mean? But I get it. Now, is music time? is Music Time going to be a platform where we will be able to see certain things, like maybe, you know, highlighting graph artists or breakers or some type of something
Yes.
along those lines?
Yes, because the one thing that we was talking about was expanding the stories of elements. All right, you know, biopics, documentaries on different things, the history of graph, and not just making it like these are some cats that risk their life and drawing on the trains, climbing up on bridges and doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? We want to get from the originators who came, like the backpacking situation out here. They wouldn't even understand how deep that was, because you look to New York and you look to the tatted trains and the tatted whatever. Look, bro, Jinx was a graph artist and a backpacker. Okay, that's why I was hoping that his conversation could have lasted a little longer with us. But he was originally a backpacker. So was Ice Cube. They were b-boys. Okay, so they would think Cube and them came straight out of the, you know, whatever it was, like it was a Friday movie, came right out of the hood, like sagging and
Yeah.
you know, like a street gangster. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So the script was drawn to make it more attractive, because you can't tell that story of your home ground until people actually give a fuck about you.
Right.
Okay, so the company's like, hey, let me do you a favor. Let's draw a script. Let's make Ice Cube the meanest gangster in the world. When he turns around and does that face, then you want to obey. And that's what they did. Come on. Fuck you, Ice Cube campaign was the head of the world. Okay. So you took this B-boy and you made him this super gangster. You would think, you know, Ice Cube was the head of the California Mafia or something.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So we all that to say, man, we have to kind of control where the gimmicks begin and end. We have to say, let's push that aside and get straight to creativity. Music Time will be opening the doors for graffiti, the dance elements, the rhyming elements, the DJ. You know what I'm saying? The professionalism behind. I even want, and this is why I partner with them. It's not like I'm an artist on the brand and I'm saying, y'all come on and do whatever. I'm doing a show. No, man, I'm here to help develop the platform in total, because they their first concert, they can be thinking rap. Like, let's just get the biggest rapper, let's spend some money and let's go ahead and reinvest in ourselves and keep the ball rolling. Now I'm saying, let's build up and let's take what we worth. If people out there are saying, nah, man, I'm not feeling that, I want more of the new age shit, then I'll feel it in the sales of this card. Okay, and then I can learn how to adjust as a businessman and say, okay, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? Where did the laziness of the people that are supposed to buy the tickets, where did that start at? Where did I give them room to feel like that? I want them to feel like, yo, man, this brother's talking real shit. I haven't been able to sit down with my child or my family and watch one of these virtual shows because everybody's cursing you out for the whole time frame. All right. If I sat with my family at the last verses, what would I have witnessed, bro? The first song that came on, ass and titties, ass and titties.
Yeah.
This is facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So I might have wanted to come when E40 and Too Short came on. Too Short, I got raunchy to a point where I was like, damn, I didn't even know you had that song in your catalog. Okay. So I'm saying, like, look, and it's not to say that they're wrong or right. It's just that, when does it come to a time where the family can sit down and enjoy? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I'm like, yo, y'all not even giving that opening. Y'all are making it to, like, if you go to the club, you go to the strip club, you go to whatever, this show is for you. Period. And I'm saying, okay, for the adult that wants to sit with his family for one time, instead of having to separate himself and say, yo, I'm gonna go get with the boys and watch the verses tonight, put the kids to bed, you already separating the family.
Right.
I'm saying to all of them, sit in your living room. Nobody has to go outside. Pop that 40 beans, and you're gonna get such an entertaining show. I'm not wearing the conscious on my sleeve. I'm saying I have some dope performers and something that I want to offer you. And if you rock with it, then I'll have more to offer you. You'll see more shows. You'll see more artists. Okay? I can't attract Black Thought to come from his schedule now to say, come perform on my program until the people say, yo, this is what's happening. I
Yeah.
want record-setting numbers for what we're doing. To say, yo, man, these cats came under the radar and sold pay-per-view groundbreaking numbers. Okay? So now everybody on that card is now breaded. Now they are the investors in the next wave. That's how this is designed. Okay? Because I know you're not gonna sell out Wise Intelligent. I know you're not gonna sell out Cyrock because they are consistently conscious. Okay? So if I say, yo, we're building a label brand and building several shows around artists of this kind of caliber, you think they're not gonna reinvest their money into that, bro? The same way that you brothers came together and built a powerful show, I want them to come along and build the situation with me.
Very dope.
Yes.
Dope.
Before we get out of here, we can't overlook the fact that you got some bangers out: Self-Destruct, Space People, Culture, featuring Damian Marley and
Culture.
Prison. Can you tell us what's next for Brother Jay?
Yeah, they're gonna get a hell of an album. I have an album called The Vanglorian. And I was sparked by watching The Mandalorian. I'm a sci-fi head. And I yes. So when I saw The Mandalorian, I said, wow, this is deep, you know, the last of its kind. And you know, moving around the universe, you know, just putting things together. You got allies in different places. I said, yo, that's my life. You know what I'm saying? So I named it The Vanglorian, our own.
Oh, that's dope. I just caught it, but that's dope. That's
You know
dope.
what I'm saying? That's how I wanted to hit people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, I got some quality joints that have been in my catalog, and I want to release it with the pay-per-view on the 19th. So they'll have access to my store, some merchandise, and I also allowed the artists to have their merchandise. So people want to get PE, Rock, any of that kind of merchandise. Everybody has their own way to monetize their presence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in people's pocket saying, yo, give me this, give me that. This is your floor. The people are directly supporting us, and they will feel it if they put their dollars up to support what we're doing, and they will be entertained. This is how real business is supposed to be done, man. You know, I'm doing like how Saturn was. You put a door on the car, you're part of the company, you get bread, you know, with us. And I thought that was the way to do it. That's my art in our world. That's balance.
Right. One last question. Exodus turns 35 this year. Your best memory of recording your sophomore album?
Wow. Oh, wow. You know what, brother? I didn't enjoy Exodus like that. It wasn't as together as East Blackers were. You know, we were stars. So, you know, everybody's head was a little bit swollen. So we didn't focus as much. And though I love what we were doing, I felt that could have been better. And they'll get a remixed version of the Exodus. I have director's cuts of my albums being released on Music Time.
Awesome.
So they'll get an up-to-date version of East Blackwards, an up-to-date version of Exodus, and my other catalogs, Return from Mecca, the Mainstream Outlaws, the Dark Sun Projects. I have, like I said, blank canvas, my brother. I want all my music to sound bomb. And I'm a producer. I was producing my material then. I felt that I can upgrade it. When you watch Star Wars, it's not the ashy analog version.
Right.
Days is done over laser cut, whatever it is. So I chose to do that with my catalog. So Exodus, I loved it, but I felt that it could be better, and I will be giving it back to the people.
Nice.
Very dope.
Nice. I just want to say, I think on behalf of myself and Sincere, thank you for continuing with what you're doing. Because there's a lot of us, you know, fans still around that want to hear music from the artists that we love. And unfortunately, we kind of get a little disappointed when some artists, granted that there's always things that might go on, reasons why they're not around or whatever.
Yes.
We understand that. But like you said before, I know you kind of stopped for a little while,
right,
and got your, found your mojo again for whatever reason.
Right.
Thank you, because we really do appreciate you. and
That
everything
means
you've done and contributed to the culture and still will contribute.
Thank you, family. That means a lot, man. I'm rolling the dice with this. I'm really, when I say power to the people, I believe in my people, and I believe they will show up for what it is, man, to make us look good and to make sure that we have longevity with this program. And I believe in that wholeheartedly.
Well, all man, like I said, we wish you nothing but the best to
Thank
you
you,
and everybody involved.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking time with us.
Like Uncle E said, we appreciate everything you've done for the culture. Before we get out of here, can you shout out your social media and everywhere we can keep up with Brother J at?
Certainly. At Bro J X Clan, as y'all put up there, is my main page. I just built X Clan Worldwide on Instagram and Facebook, and I will be branching out. You know, I'm learning all the Discord and Clubhouse and LinkedIn and things of that nature, but my main focus for years has been the Instagram and Facebook. It's kind of like Pro Tools in the studio. Everybody knows what it is.
Right.
So they can reach us there and reach out to Music Time. That will be my headquarters, and working these projects and dealing anything creative. So they can reach us on those platforms. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. This has been the Red Pill episode. Make sure you guys check out that pay-per-view March the 19th. Visit musictimeppv.com to order. Like I said, thank you so much, Brother Jay. This has been the Changing of the Hip Hop Guard podcast. I'm the journalist sincere. That's Uncle E, the legendary Brother Jay, and we're out of here. Thank you so much.
Much success, brothers. Much success. Peace.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Blessings. 100.
Peace.